The files weren't supposed to be seen. A US Navy serviceman later said he was shown classified briefings, documents he believed revealed something hidden behind official reality. Milton William Cooper, known as Bill Cooper, served during the Vietnam era. Years after leaving the Navy, he began describing what he said he encountered during that time. According to Cooper, the briefings he saw referenced a secret group often called Majestic 12, an alleged committee formed to manage information about unidentified craft and non-human contact. He claimed these documents described recovered craft. Vehicles, he said, were not built with known human technology. In these accounts, these craft were often described as disc-shaped, capable of silent movement and sudden acceleration beyond conventional limits. He also spoke about crash retrievals, including incidents he believed occurred within the United States. One location frequently associated with these claims, though not unique to Cooper, was Roswell, New Mexico, which he referenced as part of a larger pattern of recovered materials and controlled information. Cooper went further. He described bodies allegedly recovered alongside these craft, small, humanoid in form, with large heads and eyes, features that have since become widely associated with what are often called grey beings. According to Cooper, the briefing suggested these were not isolated encounters. He spoke about agreements, arrangements he believed were made between elements of government and non-human entities. In his telling, these agreements allowed limited interaction or abduction activity in exchange for access to advanced technology. He claimed that, over time, parts of these agreements were either broken or exceeded, leading to deeper secrecy and loss of control. He also described underground facilities, hidden bases where he believed research and contact operations were taking place. One location he referred to was beneath the Nevada desert, often connected in his accounts to areas like Groom Lake, where classified military testing is known to occur. In his narrative, these sites were not just testing grounds, but centers of interaction, experimentation, and containment. Beyond physical encounters, Cooper warned of long-term strategies he believed were already in motion. He spoke about population control through influence rather than force, through media, fear, and staged global events designed to shape public perception. He described what he believed could be a future engineered crisis, possibly involving an extraterrestrial threat narrative, used to justify increased global control and centralized authority. He didn't present these as distant possibilities. He spoke about them as something already unfolding. In 1991, he published Behold, a Pale Horse, where he laid out many of these claims in detail. The book included references to a document he called the Secret Government and a briefing he described as the Alien Presence Report, which he said outlined contact, agreements, and long-term planning. It circulated widely, becoming one of the most recognized texts within conspiracy and alternative research circles. Cooper later hosted The Hour of the Time, a radio broadcast where he expanded on these ideas. He warned of controlled narratives, questioned official explanations, and at times made specific claims about future events he believed were being planned or allowed. Over time, his views shifted into certain areas. He distanced himself from some UFO narratives, challenged other researchers, and insisted that parts of the public story around extraterrestrials were themselves misleading. Still, he remained consistent on one point. He believed something hidden was operating behind the surface of official reality. Then came November 2001. At his home in Eagar, Arizona, law enforcement arrived to serve an arrest warrant related to prior charges. What followed is documented: a confrontation, an exchange of gunfire, and Milton William Cooper was killed at the scene. Official reports state that Cooper fired on officers before being shot. Supporters of Cooper have questioned aspects of that account, pointing to his long-standing distrust of government authority. There has been no official connection made between his claims and the events of his death. His work, however, continued to circulate. Some researchers and commentators have argued that his claims drew from earlier conspiracy literature and Cold War era narratives. Others have pointed out overlaps between his descriptions and stories told by figures like Bob Lazar, while also noting differences in detail and interpretation. For those who followed him, Cooper was someone who believed he had seen something real and chose to speak about it, regardless of the consequences. For others, his story reflects how belief, information, and interpretation can shape a lifetime. But the question he left behind remains: what did Milton William Cooper believe he saw in those briefings? And how much of it was already part of a story still being told?